What if I don't want to kill the test subjects? Let's go ahead and save before we make any big decisions. Human testing is a required step. View lab notes. The addition of dimethyl sulfoxide to the current round of tests has resulted in some improvements. Subjects are showing improved circulation and increased neural activity. However, our formula is still missing something. We're still unable to fully revive subjects from long-term hibernation, and removing their supply of dimethyl sulfoxide results in a rather excruciating death. The problem is compounded when we consider reviving and freezing subjects multiple times. To make matters worse, we've had a hard time securing additional dimethyl sulfoxide. We may have to make do with this batch. Oh. Sudden withdrawal from dimethyl sulfoxide is highly lethal and will result in the cancellation of any in-progress experiments. Experimental integrity and test subject vitality can be maintained by leaving. Charles Rockwell to repeatedly revive human subjects from extended hibernation without causing the death of the human subject and loss. Well, I could leave some of it. I could leave some of it. This is a big decision. I do realize I keep saving. Let's look at our log, our journal log. Do I want to keep them alive? I don't know if we're going to have enough. I don't want to kill people, but I also want to revive the colonists. Let's transfer some of it. Return to Phineas. Now let's see what happens when we give him this much. I hope it's okay. If not, we're just gonna have to go back here and get 100%. I'm kind of glad the gives an option there. I do want to kind of be anti-corporate, but also there's people in there. Okay. Let's go back to our ship. Now, hopefully, having what's-her-name, the doctor, on our team, combined with the fact that we didn't take all of it, will even out. Because now Phineas has the doctor on his team. Let's go see what happens. I think we're just going to go with this. We're just going to stick with this outcome. I could always go back later and get the rest, right? Probably not, but that would make logical sense.
Some crew members are causing a disturbance on the ship. You have a message from Adjutant Sophia Akande.
No one ever looks quite the same in person as they do in my reports. And my reports of you have been exceptionally thorough. You've had quite a career.
I'm just getting started.
I'm glad to hear that. This may come as a surprise, but I happen to enjoy your work. I've been keeping up with you ever since Emerald Vale. Now that was an interesting piece of work. A rundown backwater, barely worth the ink on a map. Until you showed up. When you cut off power to Edgewater, you saved me a great deal of trouble. Now I don't have to bother trying to save that town. All this happened because some mysterious stranger fell out of the sky.
You almost sound like you approve.
Not always. For the longest time, I could never be sure if you were on our side or against us. You should be back on the Hope, frozen in a hibernation chamber. Yet here you are, flying about in a stolen ship, leaving a trail of paperwork in your wake. The board doesn't know what to make of you. But I do. I've seen your potential. There's so much we can do for this colony.
How do you know I'm from the Hope?
We raised security on the Hope after Wells broke in. As for discovering the identity of the missing colonist, all we had to do was scan the passenger manifest.
I'm not sure I trust you yet.
Then let me help you make up your mind. You have something I want. I'd like to negotiate.
Oh, you want the gas instead of giving it to the doctor. Screw you. You people need better security. Anybody could have lifted those chemicals.
I'm not here to talk about stolen chemicals. I'm after something far more valuable. Your cooperation. Phineas Wells is wanted by the board. I want to convince you to turn him in to us.
Screw you. All right, convince me.
Wells is a dangerous madman. His plan is going to endanger everyone in Halcyon. He's an obsessive psychopath. And he's using you. You're in contact with Wells. I want you to send us a tracing signal from his communication terminal.
We're done here, Ada.
You are making a serious mistake.
Adjutant Akande's call has been terminated. Will there be anything else, Captain?
Nope. Screw you. Helping the doctor.
We have successfully arrived at Phineas's orbital lab, Captain, and we are still in one piece. Shall I congratulate myself, or would you like to do the honors?
Okay, let's bring Vicar and Felix. Alright, let's go talk to the doctors. I wonder if both of them are here now. I just see one so far.
I've kept myself busy in your absence, optimized my formula. I'm now confident I can revive the remaining colonists. All I need now is the dimethyl sulfoxide. I'll take as much as you can give me.
Forget about the chemicals for a second. The colony's on the verge of collapse.
What? Oh, yes, well, that's obvious. Anyone with 2 working labs can see this colony's slouching toward oblivion. Why do you think we've been doing all this? I revived you to help me save Halcyon from annihilation.
Gets worse. The chairman's planning on freezing every worker in Halcyon.
Hold on. Let me see if I understand this correctly. You're saying that Halcyon's on the brink of total collapse? And the chairman's plan to save all of us is to save himself? I always knew Halcyon was heading toward a systems collapse, but I never imagined we were already there. The board made this crisis, and now they want to solve it by freezing the rest of us? That's not a plan. That's a goddamn escape clause. That makes 2 things we don't have. Time and chemicals to revive the other settlers. None of this was supposed to happen. I was supposed to revive the Hope's colonists. We were supposed to have enough time to solve the problem before we all starved.
Find your chemicals in the Ministry. The board was testing them on human subjects.
Human test subjects? Oh, that's grotesque. That's unthinkable. That's exactly what I'd expect out of the board.
These are the chemicals. I could get any more, I would have killed the subjects.
Damn, that's not enough. Not nearly enough for the whole ship. I could revive a handful of settlers. Maybe, possibly, 10. We're out of time. We're out of chemicals. We may very well be out of options. If the board has their way, we're all going to be spending the rest of our lives frozen in stasis. Do you realize what this means for the Hope? For your fellow colonists? The board's going to kill them all. Toss them out into space, just to make room in their hibernation chambers.
We need to think about this. There has to be something we can do.
Short of lining up every member of the board and shooting them in the back of the head. Do you know what's waiting for us on the Hope? Scientists, engineers, artists, the brightest minds Earth ever sent us, uncorrupted by the board. The board's going to dispose of them all and transform the Hope into a prison for the rest of us. They're likely on their way to the Hope as we speak. We need to get to those colonists before the board. I have enough chemicals to start reviving a few of them, but no easy way to get them off the Hope.
There is a way. It's not exactly safe, but we could skip the Hope into the system.
Merciful gibbering law, you're a genius! We bring the Hope to us. Skip the entire ship across the distance of colony space, right next to my lab.
That's going to attract a lot of attention. The Hope's probably damaged. We'll have to route power from the Unreliable.
Yes, exactly. You're a step ahead of me, but I perceive the shape of your plan. If we link up the Hope to the Unreliable, then use your navigational computer to calculate a reasonably safe vector, we can skip the entire colony ship into the rings of Terra 2.
And that's going to work, without killing us in the process. I thought intra-system microjumps were prohibited for a reason.
Yes, there's always a risk of a catastrophic collision between the Hope and, say, Terra 2, in theory. But you'll be fine, provided your calculations are correct.
I don't understand a word you said, Doc. All I know is, if we're gonna hijack a colony ship, count me in.
Yes, excellent. I approve of your enthusiasm, young man. You should ask your captain for a raise. You'll need to switch on the Hope's auxiliary power using the Unreliable. Then head to the bridge. Your navigational computer, Ada, should be able to activate the Hope skip drive. Once you've skipped the Hope next to my lab, I'll have easy access to the frozen colonists. I can start reviving them immediately.
I've got some questions.
Certainly. How can I help?
People aren't going to notice a gigantic colony ship slamming into the rings of Terra 2?
Unlikely. The Hope is as massive as the Groundbreaker, but compared to the rings of Terra 2, positively minuscule. The board might notice, possibly, depending on the position of their heads relative to the depth of their collective posteriors.
Should I expect any resistance?
It wouldn't surprise me. When I pulled you out of the Hope, the board nearly intercepted me. I expect they stepped up security since my little act of larceny.
That's all for now. Okay. Sounds good, sounds good. Let's head back out to our ship. Oh, wait.
I hope you're not in the board. Chairman Rockwell and his cronies are not your friends. They might tempt you with promises of wealth, but don't be fooled. They're just using you for their own ends. What's on your mind?
I wanted to talk about the Hope.
Certainly. How can I help?
Just so we're clear, you know skip drives aren't supposed to be used like this.
Skip drives were never designed to be used within a system, but I skipped my ship across Halcyon when I rescued you, and that turned out fine, mostly. That is, I ruined my ship and nearly killed myself in the process, but the maneuver was well within acceptable margins of risk. You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
No more questions. I'm ready.
I know you're wondering why I'm doing all this. Why I believe the people on the Hope are the answer to the colony's problems. The Hope is carrying some of humanity's most brilliant thinkers, scientists, engineers, experts in their field. If we work together, we can still find a way to save Halcyon. The board would have us believe Halcyon is beyond saving. I choose to believe otherwise. If there's even the slightest chance we can save Halcyon from oblivion, then we have to take it.
All right, I'll be back. All right, guys, we just leveled up. We are continuing in our main story. Man, look at our hacking and lockpicking. Awesome. Let's go ahead and increase our weaponry here. It's going to do long guns and handguns. That'll be fine. Looks like we do have another perk as well. Let's get our science weapon damage up again. Total science playthrough here. And let's get to it. Now, I wonder when that other scientist chick is gonna show up. The one that we spared. To check on that later. Oh, Felix wants to talk about something.
You know, they're gonna make a serial about our adventures one day. I've been trying to think of a good title for this episode. I like the sound of The Skip Job. No, wait, I got it. Hope in Dark Times. Get it? Hope? Like the ship. That's what folks in the business call wordplay.
Not bad, Felix. Our adventure serial is going to need a name, too.
Yeah, I've been thinking about that. Got a list right here. Thrilling Tales of the Unreliable. Or maybe Spine-Chilling Stories from the Edge of the System. Was also considering Astounding Adventures in the Ether. I'm partial to that last one.
I'm glad you're having fun, but we've got a job to do.
Yeah, we got a job to do. We're hijacking a lost colony ship and slamming it right into the rings of Terra 2. Stealing the hope from the board, skipping it across the whole damn system. This is gonna be great. I can't wait.
I like your attitude, Felix.
I'm just kidding, boss. I know you don't pay me. I'm sure you've got plans to make. As for me, I gotta keep practicing my signature dropkick. The Hope might have cameras.
All right, let's go ahead and get back in our ship.
Some crew members are causing a disturbance on the ship.
All right, guys. Well,
Now, hold on. What happens if we hit the wall?
Most likely, the bullet will ricochet, which could be bad. Or hilarious. There's a tiny chance of a hull puncture, which would suck us into space one chunk at a time. Bad and hilarious.
Ugh. Just imagining that makes me sick.
That's why we don't miss.
I'm going to go ahead and cut the stream off now. I'm going to go have some lunch. But afterwards, we will continue with our quest. And we will see what we can do. But this has been Free Nachos, and I will see you all next time.